You're not even half the woman your sister is. The sentence sliced through the dining room like a knife. For a second, even the ceiling fan seemed to stop. My mother's voice lingered in the air, cold, sharp, confident. My father didn't look up. He simply nodded as if she had spoken a universal truth. My sister, Hannah, sat across from me, smiling into her wine glass. Her perfect hair, perfect nails, perfect life. She didn't need to say anything. Her smile said it all. I swallowed the lump rising in my throat. I wasn't a child anymore, but somehow, every humiliation from my parents still landed the same way, right in the center of my chest. Dad finally lifted his eyes. You're 32. No husband. No kids. No stability. Look at your sister. He pointed a fork toward Hannah. She has a home, a family, a real job. She makes us proud. Mom chimed in. When people ask about our daughters, we talk about Hannah. When they ask about you, we change the subject. The table fell quiet. Even the soft clinking of cutlery had disappeared. I stared at the food I no longer felt like eating. Inside, I felt something shift. Not anger. Not sadness. Something quieter. Something that almost felt like clarity. This wasn't new. Growing up, Hannah got the new clothes. I got her old ones. She got dance classes. We don't have money for unnecessary hobbies. She brought home trophies. I brought home decent grades, but no one cared. When Hannah got married, they decorated the entire house. When I got a promotion, they didn't even bother to ask what my new title was. And now here we were again. Hannah placed her fork down gently. By the way, Mom, that guy you tried to set her up with? He said she wasn't wife material. Said he preferred someone more accomplished. Mom laughed. Dad actually smirked. It felt like someone had poured ice water down my back. A strange stillness settled over me. Hannah leaned back. No offense, sis. Just being honest. I looked at all three of them. I didn't shout. I didn't cry. I didn't defend myself. Instead, I pushed my chair back. Slowly. Deliberately. The scraping sound echoed across the dining room. Dad sighed, annoyed. Oh, good, here comes the drama. But I didn't say a word. I stood up, placed my napkin on the table, and for the first time in my life, I smiled at them. A real smile. A dangerous smile. You're right, I said quietly. I'm not half the woman Hannah is. I leaned forward just a little. I'm more. Their faces changed instantly. Confusion, irritation, discomfort. I stepped back from the table, my hands steady, my voice calm. You've compared us all my life. I paused. But tonight, it ends. I turned away. Just as I reached the doorway, I stopped and glanced back, meeting each of their eyes one by one. You think this dinner was the end of the conversation, I said softly. But trust me, it's only the beginning. Their expressions froze. Even Hannah's confident smile collapsed. That was the moment. The exact moment. I decided I would never let them treat me like the forgotten daughter again. I would rise. Silently. Slowly. Powerfully. And when I did, they would watch. I thought walking away from that table was the end of a painful chapter, but I was wrong. It was the beginning of my silent revenge. I left their house the next morning. No argument. No goodbye. Just a single message on the kitchen counter. I'll be back someday. But you won't recognize me when I return. I moved to a different city, rented a small apartment, and started rebuilding my life from scratch. No one checked on me. Not my mother. Not my father. Not even Hannah. And honestly, that silence became my strength. I worked days at the office and nights learning new skills, finance, digital marketing, public speaking. I saved every penny. My confidence grew. My world expanded. 6 months passed. Then one evening I got a call. The caller ID read Hannah. I almost ignored it, but curiosity won. I answered. Hello. Her voice was shaky. I need to talk to you. That was new. Hannah never needed me. What's wrong? I asked calmly. She exhaled sharply. Michael left. Her perfect husband. Her perfect life. Gone. And he left me with the debt, she whispered. All the loans were in my name. I didn't know. He tricked me. My eyes widened, though I kept my voice neutral. I'm sorry to hear that. She began crying. I'm losing the house. I'm losing everything. I listened. Quietly. Just like they had taught me. Because silence was the only thing they ever respected. 2 weeks later, Mom called. She didn't bother with greetings. Your sister is suffering. We need you to come help. I almost laughed. We. I repeated. Now you remember I exist? Mom snapped. You're her sister. Stop being childish. The same woman who said I wasn't half the woman Hannah was. Now wanted my help. I didn't rush. But I watched everything unfold from a distance. Hannah lost her home. Dad's business went down. Mom's medical bills were piling up. The family that once bragged about perfection was now suffocating under their own mess, and none of them had anyone to turn to. Except me. The forgotten daughter. The not good enough one. The rejected one. Their downfall wasn't revenge. It was karma. My revenge was still coming. Quietly. Carefully. One day Dad called. For the first time in my life, he sounded small. Sweetheart, we need to talk. Sweetheart. He had never called me that before. I didn't interrupt him. I didn't comfort him. I let the silence burn. We're in trouble, he said. We need money. Just for a little while. There it was. The moment they needed me. The moment the ignored child became the only hope. But I wasn't done rising yet. Dad, I said softly. I'll think about it. And that sentence. Simple, calm, controlled. Cut deeper than any insult. I had become someone else. Someone they could no longer belittle. Someone they feared losing. And that fear? That was the beginning of my silent revenge. 2 months later, I returned home. Not the same weak daughter they once dismissed, but a woman who had rebuilt herself from the ashes of their expectations. I walked into their living room. The house that once felt cold and proud now felt small and suffocating. Mom's eyes widened. Dad stood up slowly. Hannah looked embarrassed, sitting quietly with her hands folded. No one spoke first. So I did. I heard you needed help. Dad swallowed hard. We made mistakes. I said nothing. Mom stood and reached for my hand. I'm sorry we compared you to Hannah. We were wrong. Hannah looked down. I'm sorry too, she whispered. I shouldn't have treated you like competition. There it was. Regret. Guilt. Fear. I stayed calm. I didn't cry. I didn't comfort them. You didn't value me when I was home, I said. You laughed at me. Dismissed me. Belittled me. No one denied it. I rebuilt myself alone, I continued. No support. No encouragement. Nothing. Dad's voice cracked. We want a second chance. I shook my head gently. I'm not here to fix your lives, I said. And I'm not here to save you. Mom's eyes filled with tears. So what now? I looked at all three of them, my parents and my sister, and felt absolutely nothing. I'm here to set boundaries, I said. No more insults. No more comparisons. No more using me only when you need me. They nodded silently. And one more thing, I added. Their eyes lifted nervously. I choose myself now. Not this house. Not your approval. Not your expectations. A heavy silence blanketed the room. Then I stood up, picked up my bag, and walked toward the door. Dad whispered, Will you all come back? I didn't turn around. No, I said softly. I'm finally free. And with that, I stepped out. Not just of their house, but out of the role they tried to force on me my whole life. I didn't lose a family that day. I lost chains. I lost limits. I lost the version of myself they created. What I gained was me. I didn't lose a family. I gained myself. If you were in my place, what would you do? Tell me in the comments, and please subscribe to our channel.